with Don Shepard and John Selby from the Stardust Energy Incorporated to answer some frequently asked questions about the Galaxy Partners Drilling Fund. Don Shepard here is the president of Stardust Energy Incorporated. It was founded in 2004. Don received his petroleum land management degree from the University of Oklahoma in 1976. Since then, he's worked for numerous oil companies. He's held the positions of staff landman, land manager, and vice president of land. Additionally, Don has been the sole proprietor of a successful landman brokerage company and the partner of another. John Selby over here has over 30 years of experience in the oil and gas industry. He has a master's degree in geology from the Colorado School of Mines and is a licensed professional geoscientist. He's been a member of the American Association of Petroleum Geologists since 1984. Additionally, he is a past chairman of the Central Texas chapter, of the Society of Independent Professional Earth Scientists, as well as a former member of the National Board of Directors of the same organization. First off, we'd like to thank you guys so much for being with us here today. And we'd like to address Don with our first question. It's fair to say that successful investors in oil and gas understand very well that exploration is a numbers game. They know that if you utilize good scientific evidence, do the proper research, and then make good decisions, the odds for success are very much in our favor. So the question becomes, Don, how do you make money in a business where the odds of failure are greater than the odds of success?
Well, Mike, you just can't put all of your investment dollars into one prospect. You have to invest in multiple prospects. That way, the numbers game works in your favor ultimately. In oil and gas exploration, everybody's looking for that low risk, high return deal, and we sometimes do find them. But usually, we have to settle for the low risk, medium return, or the medium risk, high return prospects. Those are sufficient for us to make a good living on. What would you say, John?
Yeah, I agree, and it's all a function. There's no substitute for hard work, and it's a function of our experience. My experience in generating prospects for over 30 years and looking for all the details and analyzing well logs and finding that one clue that leads you to the conclusion that it's worthy of drilling, and that's a substantial oil and gas on the prospect. So it's really, as far as we could overcome a lot of risk by working hard and looking at a lot of prospects that are available out there, and by culling out a lot of the weaker prospects and finding 5, that increases our chance of success. And we're not just putting all the money into one deal that we think is the best, we're spreading it out over 5 quality deals.
Yeah, once we get going on this, we'll have the phone will ring and somebody will have a prospect they want to sell us, and they'll describe it to us, and right there we make a decision whether or not we want to spend the time looking at it. Right. And if we decide we do want to look at it, then we get their presentation, look over their data, and put it through our own evaluation process, and then go from there. I mean, we're going to look at, in order to invest in 5 prospects, we're going to look at a minimum of, what, 30?
30 at least. Yeah.
So
as many as possible.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully our phone will be ringing every day with somebody trying to get us into their prospect. I mean, that's what we're looking for. It's those opportunities.
That was great, guys. Thank you very much. This next question is for John. John, with your extensive experience in Texas oil and gas, can you give us a quick overview of some of your successes, along with how your background tied to this modern oil and gas technology impacts the odds for success in this endeavor?
Well, just recently, in the last 3 years, I've been fortunate enough to have 3 prospects come in. And all 3 are in the eastern shelf of Texas, which has been my main focus throughout my independent career. All 3 are in sandstones. 2 are in the Strawn sand, and 1 in the canyon sand, anywhere from less than 1,000 feet to 6,500 feet. And one thing all 3 of these prospects have in common was they are what I call field extensions. All 3 of these prospects, for at least 20 years and really 30 years on one, had no activity offsetting these proving wells. And what I do is I map out the producing sand. These are stratigraphic traps. And what I'm looking for is subtleties in the data, in the well logs, that tell me that you could extend the field beyond what the original operators thought. And On all of these deals, we are getting a good return on investment, and the investors should be very happy once all said and done, two of which are still being drilled right now. So school is still out as to the final extent of the reservoir, but even if we quit right now, the investors will be getting a 3-to-1, 4-to-1 return on their money.
That's fascinating, guys. In light of what we've discussed here today, what makes Galaxy Partners Drilling Fund one that should be considered over others that are available?
Of course, the main thing is John and I are going to do everything we can to make sure that this thing is successful. We want these investors coming back into investing into every drilling fund that we offer. This is just the first of many. We're in this for the long haul. And we want our investors to make money. We want them to be happy. We want them to have a hassle-free and experience. And it's a really fun business, and we want them to be a part of that. We want them to be able to have fun when we're into exciting prospects, and we're going to keep them informed, make sure that they know what's going on. But main reason that we're better than other drilling funds, I've been in this business a long time, and John has too, but we've seen drilling funds over the years for forever. It's not a new concept. They've always been around, but most of the drilling funds that you'll see are managed by big companies with a huge staff, with fancy offices, and they've got to get their investors to pay for all that. So they take a 25% management fee. They pay 10% to the person that brings their investor to them as a commission. They take 25% of a successful well. They'll take an override on top of that. Our management fee is a very reasonable 12%. Out of that, we pay all the expenses. John's consulting fees come out of that. My salary comes out of that, portion of my annual salary. Any expenses such as office supplies, telephone, fax, our accounting services will be paid for out of that. The investor's money after that 12% management fee goes to drill wells, to buy leases, to complete wells, to pay for operating expenses. It doesn't go for any of that extraneous stuff. We take a 10% back in after a well is paid out as part of our pay for putting this deal together and managing it. And that's it. It's a very, we're taking the least possible management fee, the least possible interest after payout that we can, with the goal of the investors being successful.
It's no secret that Texas has reemerged as a global leader in oil. And arguably, there's never been a better time for the entry-level investor to get involved. We also understand, Don, that there are significant tax benefits and incentives that are available to investors in oil and gas today. Can you talk a little bit about that?
You bet. There are very significant tax benefits, and if you're not aware of them as an investor, you're going to like this very much. Intangible costs are written off against other income in the year that incurred. Tangible costs such as pump jacks and other equipment are depreciated, as well as leases. And get this, when you make a well and revenue starts coming in, you only get taxed on 85% of that revenue, because there's a 15% depletion allowance to incentivize oil and gas investments. So that means that if you invest $1 million, the absolute worst that you could do is to lose $700,000, because the 30% write-off on your taxes is a given. It's going to happen, and that's whether you're successful or not. Even if you drill a good well, you're going to get a 30% tax write-off against other income in that year. Pretty good deal, huh?
That's really excellent, Don. Thank you. And I want to thank both of you guys for being here with us today. And before we go, though, do you have any parting words for us, John?
Well, the only thing I'd like to add is I'm really excited, and I feel fortunate to be working on this. And anyone that's interested, please feel free to call me or email me, contact me. And all business is a 24/7 business, and just really excited to be working on this.
Don?
Yeah, likewise. Anybody that wants to take this a step further and talk to us in person, we encourage you to do so. In fact, let's have lunch. give us a call and we'll get together and talk about this in more detail. We want to bring you all aboard. Thank you.